Are you awake?
Yeah.
I just want you to know I hate you. And so does my dad.
Well, that's fine.
You and your mom are hillbillies. This is a house of learned doctors.
You're not a doctor. You're a big, fat, curly-headed f***.
I'm a curly-headed
Yeah. You better not go to sleep. As soon as your eyes shut, I'm gonna punch you square in the face.
I hope you stay still when you sleep, because I'm putting a rat trap between your legs.
I'm gonna take a pillowcase and fill it full of bars of soap and beat the shit out of you.
I want you out of my house.
No way, Kimosabe. This is my house now.
Never a dull day when we have all of the goings on here on YouTube. This now between Ethan Klein continuing to flail and refuse to accept any responsibility has now graduated to the crabs in a bucket stage of his melty, where he is trying to drag down other creators and get them strikes. In this particular case, it's Keemstar. Of course it is, because their feud runs deep. I feel like there's something that happened between them that we don't know about. That's like, because it's like this unnatural hatred. Like, people think that, like, I mean, like, I never think about Ethan Klein. He doesn't bother me. It's just part of my job to, like, cover the things that he does. There's zero emotion there. But, like, with these two, there definitely is emotion. And it's a little weird. Like, maybe they need to kiss already. I'm not exactly sure. But what I am sure of is this story is spicy. And I've got a great sponsor to show you right here. Huge shout out to this video's sponsor, Pokerist. Now, if you're over 18, I've got a great suggestion for you. There's a lot to do in this game, but for me, it's all about the entertainment value of it. Dive into the thrilling world of engaging online tournaments. I can enjoy 3D gameplay. I can try out more than 11 different poker games and have real fun in my spare time. I've always enjoyed playing Texas Hold'em, so it's been really fun to play with actual real users from around the world. You can play for fun or in battle royale type tournaments to win big prizes. And if you download today, you'll get 5,000 in free chips to play with. I should mention, of course, that you've got to be 18 plus to access the game, and the game does not offer gambling or an opportunity to win real money or prizes. Practice or success at social gaming does not imply future success at gambling. Download Pokerist using the link in the description or scan the QR code right here on the screen and get 5,000 in chips as a bonus. Available on iOS App Store and Google Play. It's that easy. Just click the link in the description and I'll see you in the game. You know, everything, on the heels of Mr. West being deplatformed or removed from basically everything at this point, Ethan Klein took the opportunity to make it about him, which is, of course, hilariously predictable, but also like just a weird continual reminder that he just still hasn't taken any responsibility for crossing the line. Look, I'm not saying the guy's got to apologize to the world or what, but it's just like, maybe accept that, hey, I probably shouldn't have said that. It seems like YouTube now, by the way, is issuing strikes more than ever. I'm not exactly sure what's going on, but it's weird. And, I'm sure I'll get one and I'll get an unpaid week off. And it'll probably be because I did something stupid or said something stupid too. You've got to kind of own that. But instead of that, what does Ethan do? Try to get Keemstar canceled by saying, now that everyone is concerned about anti-Semitism, I'd like to remind everyone that Keemstar told his audience to tweet at me something terrible. This is the person that started the outrage machine about my apparent anti-Semitism towards Ben Shapiro. Now, this was February 15th, 2017, where Keemstar, he removes the context of it. Yes, Keem did say that. And if this were on a YouTube channel nowadays, I would not be surprised if you got a strike for it. Essentially, PewDiePie, back when PewDiePie did like the Fiverr challenge, he paid some kid to hold up a sign that said, like, death to all whatever. I'm not going to repeat that phrase. It was like a bad joke by PewDiePie where essentially he was like, how can I get, what's the most outrageous thing I can get this kid to say? And he picked something very, very bad. PewDiePie got, at the time, canceled for it. I believe he lost. I can't remember if that's when he lost his show, Scare PewDiePie. I can't remember exactly, or that might have been the bridge incident, one of those two. But nonetheless, Ethan Klein then basically feigned all sorts of distress over it and said how it was outrageous, even though it was also clearly a joke in that case. So what Keemstar is saying here is, hey, like, it's just a joke, relax. But he did say it in that context. He goes on to then pick another thing where he says, this video is still up on his channel in which he calls me a greedy person. He makes a comment, Keemstar makes a comment about Ethan Klein stealing his ad revenue, and he makes a reference to, that kind of stuff. Again, in 2022, that might be a strike. I don't know. But what I think he's doing here by saying this video is still up on his channel, it's like a stealth go flag this video thing. And then also adds, and this one for good measure. It's obviously a joke, right? New anti-Semitic drama alert in 15 minutes. Retweet if one of the bad guys from WW2. Again, obviously a joke. All three obvious jokes. But also, by today's standards, we live in a post-joke society here on YouTube. Especially like racial jokes, like those just aren't allowed on the platform unless they're about white people. That's just the reality, right? I mean, anyone disagree with that? Okay. Although there was the Cracker Gate that was on Twitch, though, I believe. I don't know if it ever made its way to YouTube, but for the most part, societally, there's only one race you can make fun of. And so then he continues on by saying, so my question is, how upset do you think Keemstar really was at my super offensive joke about Ben Shapiro? Essentially saying, hey, Keem doesn't like me, so he created this outrage mob just to do it. He probably did. Keemstar probably did. He's one of the pettiest people on the planet. Ethan Klein holds a grudge stronger than any person I've ever met in my life either. These are two men that act like high schoolers or middle schoolers. I think the real question here with Ethan is, again, he's more concerned about, Keemstar posting that clip, which essentially brought it to everyone's attention, which got it covered, than actually saying, like, hey, maybe I shouldn't have made this joke. Like, you could also, you could even have, like, a mealy-mouthed apology if you're Ethan and say something like, everyone, hey, obviously it was a joke, but it's a joke that is outside of bounds of the YouTube terms of service. So I got got by the copyright system and, we'll see, or by the DMCA. So we'll see you next week. Again, you'd think someone would be a little more careful when they have a staff of 5, 6, 7 people's salaries. But, when it comes to getting his point across, Ethan Klein really doesn't care about anybody, in my opinion. You see Crypt Daddy coming in, interactions dipping recently, huh? This is out of context. Bro, didn't you do blackface? Sit this one out. Yes, he did. And again, that was a joke. It was clearly a joke, kind of tangentially off being blackface. He was doing some sort of facial mask that happened to be black. He said, I feel like he made some comment, like, I can't say for sure, but it was obvious, like a meme on that. Again, a joke. PewDiePie said the same thing. It was all jokes, though. You said the N-word and have done blackface, but no joke. Of course, Ethan Klein famously spouting off the N-word while trying to impress iDubbbz was one of the cringiest things I've ever seen. Again, context matters. He wasn't calling, wasn't calling black people that, but he was saying it repeatedly. Also, the bundle of sticks word. Don't think he ever got struck for that because, in the context, it kind of mattered. But you see a lot of, nobody's, you know, the nice deflection. You remind me of my ex, always bringing up the past. So you're trying to show everyone how similar to Keemstar you are. Is that really the move? Or you want to sit back and think about? I mean, like, where's the support? I mean, this is just not getting well received. Of course, you know, you see Comment Cop. He's certainly got me before. They've certainly got me before. I don't know who runs the account. But, you know, here's Ethan. Someone I hate says some dumb stuff. Celebrate and support their unfair deplatforming. For example, Andrew Tate. I see some dumb stuff. People try to unfairly deplatform me. What about my free speech? Pretty good meme. Again, here's Keemstar replies again. I don't care for Keemstar. I think he's been successful and he has a lot of money and people can't take that away from him. But I don't think he's worth quote unquote looking up to. And really probably nobody on YouTube, including myself, is. But I don't like the guy. He's disingenuous. He you know, whatever the case. This isn't about why, you know, you see here Keem then striking back. Ethan even drew the naughty symbol on PewDiePie. And I'm not exactly sure this is a picture. It looks like, well, that doesn't look like it. Then there's that. I mean, I don't know. It's weird. He also then Keem fires back with this video. Ethan and Hila filming Hasidic Jewish people in Israel without consent as they spew anti-Semitic tropes, calling them names while discussing how nasty they think they are. These are Ethan's real views on Hasidic Jews that he shared many times over the years. And it is a really big yikes. He says he calls them like gross. I think they're called Shylocks. Never met actually a Hasidic Jewish person before in my life. I don't know how prevalent they are in the middle of nowhere in Wisconsin, but I know that they have the curly Q hair thing on their sides. And he's essentially calling it a gross rat tail and making fun of them. And, you know, you see it's a stereotype he's perpetuating. It's also worth noting that Orthodox Jews are much more likely to have to deal with anti-Semitic hate than others because they can be easily identified, as shown by Ethan's own disgusting behavior in this video. I mean, I don't care about the filming without consent thing. He has just said some vile things. And like, again, what's at the end of this? Mutually assured destruction between Keemstar and Ethan Klein again. Like, the internet doesn't really care about these two fighting anymore. I think it's that meme, like two R words fighting. But, you know, maybe just take the L, Ethan. And because you're gonna make it worse. More clips are gonna get surfaced, and then more outrage, and all because you just couldn't take the slightest bit of responsibility for even a quote unquote joke that just went a little bit too far. This is not normal how normal people handle things. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.